This is a 2007 Hyundai Sonata, and I'm going to show you in reverse how to remove the instrument cluster. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not as easy as a lot of cars. I've removed and replaced my fair share of them in all kinds of different cars. Usually you got to pop out some plastic trim. And then there's a couple of screws, either 2, 3, or 4 generally. And then it's supposed to just come right out. Well, that's not the case with these. So I've already taken this one out, and I'm going to put it back in. So bear with me, and I'll tell you where the hard part is. The hard part in removing it is if you look at that and that. Those are these retaining clips that fit into the upper slots there. Okay, and then as you can see there are 2 screw holes which correspond to these 2 screw holes. Well, these are super easy to get to, but once you've removed those screws, trying to get this cluster out of this, we'll call it a cubby hole, is no easy feat. You're going to be tempted to put a screwdriver or preferably plastic pry tools in there to try to just wedge it out, and it's almost inescapable that you will wind up cracking your bezel glass. It's plastic. I cracked one, and I had to go to the junkyard and pull another one out. And let me tell you something, I cracked one of those there too before I got the second one out. It's very, very difficult. What I would recommend, even though I didn't use this technique, is I would get a small suction cup, probably 2 of them from Harbor Freight or something along those lines, and I would attach 2 suction cups here and just pull outward, because there's no easy way to do it. Anyway. Okay, now as you get this cluster out, you're going to see that there's 3 wire harnesses. This one's on the left. There's, of course, the release tab. And then these, I don't know if you can see it, but these 2 harnesses fit together in what appears to be the same spot. The one on the right is larger than the one on the left, so you can't mix them up. Anyway, when you're taking the cluster out, of course, pull it out, as you can see, about that far, and then get your finger or screwdriver in there to push down on the tabs and release. They come out pretty easily. I've had other ones where you push down on that tab and those suckers are still really, really in there. But these do come out relatively easy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in now. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but this is only partially in. See how the top still has space? There's still a little bit of space here before the screw holes meet. Before that's flush against where that needs to be. But I just want to show you. Even now, I'm already encountering some resistance, as you can see as I'm pushing this in. But there it goes. Now, did you hear it click? That was those 2 tabs. That was those 2 tabs kind of squeezing and popping open inside the thing. And I'm telling you, getting that back out is a suction cup's definitely the way to go. And for those of you who like ease, I strongly recommend getting an electric screwdriver. I mentioned Harbor Freight earlier, and I like a lot of things that Harbor Freight has, mostly because of price. But most, not every, but almost every cordless electric product I've bought from them has been substandard and didn't last very long. Their corded electric stuff is great, but they make one of these. I wouldn't recommend it. This is actually a Black & Decker. You can get these at Home Depot. I think they're about $20. And they're just so handy, because you just do that and you just do that. And that's a real nice way, especially when you got many screws to get to, or screws that are difficult to get to. Now this piece is the piece that fits, as you can see, right there. Okay, and I'm going to tell you right now, this sucker is going to give you some trouble. It doesn't lift up this way, it kind of pulls out toward you. As you can see here, it's held on by a clip like this, and unfortunately on mine there was a clip here, but that broke. And of course here is the female part of the wire harness for the trip and reset buttons, which of course that plugs into. So, and there's not much slack here at all. So as you pull it out, you got to release this very quickly. As you can see, there's the old part of the retaining clip still stuck in there. So yeah, that's unfortunate that it broke off, but it should still be okay because it kind of wedges behind this trim piece here and this trim piece over here. So it should be okay, but it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get out. I'm telling you right now, it's not as easy as a lot of other cars. So as you can see, I now have it clipped in, and as I mentioned, very little slack to play with. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to pop this right side in. There it goes. Of course this one isn't, but this one should stay here behind this. And then this, you're going to have to pop this part off too, and you're going to want to do that also very carefully. As you can see, I removed the top part of the steering column shroud, I guess you would call it. I don't know that it was necessary. I'm going to say it probably was. It's so easy to get off. There's basically 2 screws there that correspond to a hole here and a hole here. I don't know if you can see it. And then you unscrew those, and then you just get a little screwdriver in and it pops right out. That part's pretty easy. Now as I put that back together, you couldn't hear it because I had to pause. I can only hold the camera and do so much with 2 hands. These 2 pieces will pop together and they will pop apart, and you will have to get a very small screwdriver in here to separate it and here to separate it, but then it pops together real easy. And I'm just going to go ahead and put those screws in. Anyway, and that's it. I hope this was informative. Again, I did it backwards, but sometimes it's helpful to see what is behind the parts that you're trying to remove, and hopefully this illuminates you. I didn't see any other videos on Instrument Cluster on YouTube for this particular series of the Hyundai Sonata, I believe it's 06 to 2010. So hope that helps out.